Hi everyone, I am J.R. Madayag and my topic for this report is Indonesia. Let's get to know what is Indonesia and the things beyond it. So Indonesia, the official name is Republic Indonesia or the Republic of Indonesia. The capital is Jakarta and the official language is Indonesian, which has religion of monotheism, consists of 6 major religions such as Islam and Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism, kung saan yung Islam yung pinaka-wide sa lahat ng religion na yun. So the total area of Indonesia has 1,916,907, in which Indonesia is the largest country of Southeast Asia countries. The monetary unit of Indonesia is rupiah. Meanwhile, the currency exchange rate of one US dollar into rupiah is equals to 14,132 and 195 Indonesian rupiah. So mataas yung palitan ng dollar tsaka rupiah. So the population that is established by 2020 Indonesia has already 269,812,000, and they became fourth in the world's largest population by the year of 2019. And seemingly, Indonesian government subjects that Indonesia will have 298,806,000 population by 2030. So it will exceed almost 2 million or lower, almost, or mas mataas pa sa 2 million yung inaasahan nilang madadagdag sa population ng Indonesia by the year 2030 or in the span of 9 years. So let's go to the geography of Indonesia. So as what I said, Indonesia is the largest continent, right? Rather, the largest archipelago in the world. It consists of 5 major islands and about 30 smaller group of islands. And there are total number of 17,508 islands in which 600 are still inhabited. So Indonesia has its unique destination famous for its islands and beautiful landscapes. So Indonesia extends 5,150 to 3,200 miles east-west of between Indian and Pacific Oceans in Southeast Asia. So there are largest islands such as Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, and other parts of Indonesian islands. Indonesia's culture and tradition. So there are at least 300 ethnic groups in Indonesia. So maraman din sila sa pangkat etniko kung saan hindi lang kukunti sa kanila, they are rich in culture, they are rich in history because of their different ethnic groups. Indonesia's national motto is known as Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, or an old Javanese expression which means unity and diversity. So they've said that they have the rich culture for having 300 ethnic groups which they call a melting pot also. So they are heavily influenced by the Hindu epic Mahabharata and Ramayana. And according to studies and researches that Indonesian people can easily befriend, they can react themselves. Parang kaya nilang itago yung mga hinanakit, gano'n. Hindi nila ipapakita yun sa'yo. Tapos makikita mo sa kanila, they are genuine, they are smiling, and so on. And also, Indonesia has the freedom to worship, in which you can worship anything basta walang tinatapakang tao, or it will support on your belief and in your religion. So as what I've said, the Indonesian government recognizes 6 major religions. It is the Islam, Protestantism, Catholicism, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Tapos yung Islam yung maraming followers sa buong Indonesia. So Islam arrived by the 13th century and at Java and Sumatra. So by that year, they became the most powerful sultanates for having Islam by their side, while other islands remains to continue following Buddhism, Animism, and Hinduism. Tapos, Portuguese were the first Europeans to settle in Indonesia. As we've studied in the Philippine history na Portuguese or the European countries likes Indonesia because it is known for having much spice, or it is known for the name Moluccas Island before kasi nga marami silang mga spices doon, rich in culture, like that. But as the discovery of the Java man, researchers suggest that Indonesia was inhabited by the humans as early as 1.5 billion years ago. So may nanirahan na sa Indonesia, hindi na una yung mga Portuguese, kundi hinihinala na Java man yung unang nanirahan sa Indonesia. Next, the economy of Indonesia. So, economy of Indonesia is mainly based on agriculture and oil. So, Indonesia is also one of the competitors for exporting gases, oils, and others. So, rich din sila sa agriculture kasi nga, they have yung malawak yung lupaan ng Indonesia and rich din yung soils nila. So, approximately 90% of the population is engaged with agriculture kasi nga, more on mayaman sila sa spices. So, parang yun yung way nila para payambungin yung culture and also para ganun din para pagpapalaki ng ekonomiya nila. So, and also, Indonesia, the tourists came to see rich diversity of plants and wildlife. Some are the giant Komodo dragons and the Javan rhinoceros exist nowhere else. Kasi nga, yung giant Komodo dragons and the Javan rhinoceros only exist in Indonesia. Wala kang makikita na nabubuhay sa iba't ibang bansa, only found in Indonesia. So, as I've said, Indonesia is one of the main suppliers of rubber, coffee, cocoa, palm oil, and also produces other commodities such as sugar, tea, tobacco, copra, spices, and cloves, such as cloves. So, yun nga, rich din sila sa agriculture, hindi lang sa natural resources. So, ayun. So, while visiting Indonesia, you should consider also their food. So, these are the examples of Indonesian food that you must try when you visit Indonesia. So, Indonesian satay. This satay is meat skewers that are cooked with overcoats. This juicy skewers is usually served with rice cakes, used also known as ketupat, with peanut sauce or poured over the satay. It is a national dish conceived by the street vendors and has been one of the most celebrated food in Indonesia. It is practically everywhere and highly addictive. So, this type of food is similar to the Philippine barbecue or the American barbecues. Pero yung sa kanila lang kasi, ang skewers or this Indonesian satay is poured with peanut sauce. So, it means parang yung peanut sauce na yun yung parang nagpaiba sa iba't ibang klaseng skewers nila. So, this is known as, so, pag gumamit ka ng baboy, ang tawag is said babi. Pero pag gumamit ka naman ng chicken, you can name it said ayam. So, it is marinated skewers served with peanut sauce. It is either pork or chicken. So, similar nga siya sa barbecue ng Pilipinas or sa barbecue ng US. Pero yung pinagkaiba nga, meron silang peanut sauce tsaka sinaserve sila with rice cake, which is sa Pilipinas or sa US, wala. Mostly with rice or mostly with eaten by the stick lang. So, and also the beef rendang. This dish originated from Padang, Sumatra. Padang food is famous for its spiciness and richness in flavor. You definitely have to try beef rendang. It is somehow similar to beef curry but without the broth. We get to appreciate this dish because it takes forever to cook to get the tenderness out of the beef. So, hindi lang, para siyang, ito yung pinapakuluan ng matagal na ng oras para lang ma-achieve yung tenderness at juiciness ng meat. So, hindi lang siya niluluto by, kunyari, gusto mong magkulo mamayang lunch, ganyan. So, this dish is cooked in several hours, piniprepare siya ng maraming oras, ganyan. So, beef rendang is a signature dish that is spread into neighboring countries such as Philippines and Malaysia. So, ito, parang sinaserve siya ceremonial, tapos sinaserve siya tuwing may occasion lang, tuwing events, wedding, or Idil al-Fitr. Yun. Sinaserve yung beef rendang tuwing ganon. Kasi nga, hindi siya yung basta-bastang dish na niluluto lang like other dishes na pwedeng lutuin mo lang within a span of hours. Pero ito, inispan mo baka it takes 6 to 8 hours bago makuha yung tenderness and juiciness ng beef. So, another Indonesian delicacy is its fried rice. So, fried rice, sabi nila, ay common, sabi nila, meron naman sa ibang bansa ng fried rice na yan. No, kasi Indonesian fried rice are not the typical fried rice kasi para siyang silog ng Pilipinas. Pero yung pinagkaibahan ng nun, yung sa kanila, meat lang yung laman. It is served with with sunny side up egg, tapos fried rice, tapos may meat. Pero yung sa atin kasi sa Pilipinas, meron ibang klaseng nilalagay sa silog. So, the Indonesian fried rice is also known as nasi goreng. So, this popular Indonesian fried rice, which is traditionally served with fried egg. So, it is made of kecap manis at sauce na parang nagpapastikin or nagpapaganda or nagpapabrown dun sa rice pag niluluto. So, these are the things that you should consider when you visit Indonesia. And also, pag nagpunta kayo Indonesia, try nyo din visit ng Indonesian festival such as the Rambu Solo Ceremony, Nyepi, Jember Fashion Carnival, Balyang Valley Festival, and Segaten. And also known as Indonesians are ma-celebrate silang tao. So, the next topic will be a guide to the finest landmarks of Indonesia. So, ito yun naman yung mga dapat na puntahan or dapat na i-consider pag pupunta ka ng Indonesia. Hindi lang dapat sa Bali kasi maganda, pero dapat ito din i-visit mo pag pupunta ka ng Indonesia para worth it or para masabing maganda or nasulit mo yung pagpunta mo ng Indonesia. So, Prambanan, Java, this is the ancient Hindu temples of Prambanan in central Java, are a collection of sharp and jag temples that feature three main inner shrines dedicated to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So this is built by 10th century. It is also the largest temple in Indonesia. Tapos ginawa siya para sa tatlong Hindu goddess na si Brahma, Vishnu, at Shiva. So next is the Komodo National Park at the East Nusa Tenggara. So as what I've said, yung Komodo nga sa kanila is yun yung unique na pinaka-unique na animal na sa Indonesia mo lang matatagpuan. So trivia that Komodo dragons are venomous. Pag kinagat ka nila, pwede kang mamamatay in span of hours. Pero yung Komodo Island na pupuntahan mo is hindi ka pwedeng makapasok doon or hindi ka masyadong magtagal doon kasi nga they can attack people, pero may nakatira sa village na yon, pero yung mga tao doon is matagal na naninirahan doon, so parang gamay na nila yung lugar. The Ulun Danu Beratan Valley. So one of the most iconic images of Bali, the significant temple complex of Ulun Danu Beratan sits on the western shore of Beratan Lake in Bedugul of Central Bali. So this temple is made for the lake of God, the goddess of that lake, kasi nga parang nanirahan na siya after a single volcanic eruption over 30,000 years ago. So famous Indonesian who have broken through global recognition. So the first one is Anggun. So we all know that Anggun is one of the judges for the Asia's Got Talent. She is an Asian artist with the highest album sales, which has debuted in 33 countries all over the world. So, dun sa 33 countries na yun, nakasold siya ng 2 million na items or the singles. Tapos, that album is the Snow on Sahara in the late 90s. So, that album has a massive breakthrough in which naka-triple platinum siya sa Indonesia and sa Italy. Tapos, naka-platinum siya sa France and Malaysia. So, Anggun is a pop singing sensation or a pop diva performer of Indonesia, recognized all around the world, especially in France. Next is Joey Alexander, a jazz prodigy. Joey Alexander is an Indonesian jazz pianist and considered a jazz prodigy. So he started playing at the age of 6, but yung he released an album at the age of 11. Pero yung pag-start niya ng piano is through watching his dad playing it. So parang pinapanood niya lang, tapos tinay niya, tapos doon niya nalaman. Tapos he is also nominated twice in Grammy Award. Tapos nakapag-perform na siya sa harap ni President Barack Obama before. Next famous Indonesian is Sukarno, which is the first Indonesian president. So he is the leader of his country's struggle for independence from the Netherlands and was Indonesia's first president from 1945 to 1967. He was a prominent leader of Indonesia's nationalist movement during the Dutch colonial period and spent over a decade under Dutch detention until released by the invading Japanese forces. So, pinangunahan niya yung Indonesia para ma-achieve yung independence kasi sinakop sila ng Netherlands before. So, he is known for at least letting Indonesia to have its own independence. So, that's it for my report about Indonesia. Terima kasih.